up, y'all? It's T.M.T. We back with part 2 of episode 8, Stress. I'm Terrence.
I'm Miles.
I'm Tim.
And we're going to continue this conversation. So, the question Miles asked me was, how do we deal with stress in relationships?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and speaking on family for now, I usually don't let my family stress me out too much.
Smart.
But
smart.
you always gonna have those people in your family or anybody who can take you there. That's what I'm saying. And what I deal with from like a long arm's reach, because I'm the type of person, if I know somebody can cause me stress, like, or they can take me there, I naturally, when I come around them, I'm like on edge, because I'm just waiting for something to pop off, waiting for somebody to say something stupid to me. So
This man's ready.
I don't know. I don't like being in that headspace, so I just deal with them from a distance. And when we have conversations, I keep it very minimal. Like what I say, I let the person do most of the talking, because there can be slight things that just trigger something, and then you in a heated conversation for no reason. But when things can go there, at the end of the day, I mean, I think you got to remember, like, it's family. And look, because I know we be saying, oh, they're family, but look, some family don't act like family. So if we being real, like, everybody you have around you that's your blood they're not cool to be around. Just simple as that. So I think you still gotta like monitor, like, not necessarily who's important in my life. I don't want to say it like that, like sound bad, but who's worth giving my time to? Are they worth the stress that's gonna come with this relationship?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And some people I don't believe they are.
So would you say that, and I'm asking both of you, but would you say sometimes the stress in your relationships makes it harder to like act and think when they're actually stressing you out? Like, for example, if let's just say your brother or whatever is like really pissing you off about something, like, would you say like that stress makes it harder for you to like calm down and be like, all right, bro, like or are you just like snapping? Because I know some people that just do that. Like, they'll be like, man, my dad was, like, they be heated. And I'll be like, my dad's made me very annoyed at times. I love him to death. I wanted to punch him a few times, but I would never do that because he's somebody in my life that I value so much that no matter how much he's stressing me out or annoying me, I would never do anything to jeopardize that relationship. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask y'all if y'all have anyone that's family, and we focus on family right now,
right.
Like family that you be like, all right, this person, I can't even think straight with you because you just that annoying. Like, because there's some people that have family members that are like that. Like, they just like you said, take you to that point. Yeah. I'll start with you this time. And if not, then shoot, that's cool. That's actually good. That's really healthy because a lot of people do have family like that.
I don't really think so. It just depends on the situation. Because like my family and we usually all get along very well. So I can't really say that I have anybody that as soon as they start talking, it's just like,
I'm about to knock you out.
Right.
Crazy.
I don't have anybody like that. But that the slick stuff some people say really gets me going. Mm-hmm. Grinds my gears, as Peter said.
Crazy. All right, what about you, Terry?
Yeah, I got people in my family who, yeah, I like.
You don't gotta give a list.
I'm just thinking though, like,
crazy.
Yeah, there's been times where I've been about to snap, but I bring myself back to reality. I'm like, nope, it ain't worth it. Some people it's not worth it. Like,
it's not. It's not worth like you losing it. For somebody to get you that worked up, it just takes so much energy out of you.
It do.
Like, even just you sitting there, like, thinking about it. I know you have, like, an instance that you're thinking about in your head right now.
Oh, for
that
sure.
is just, like, yeah, that's just, like, taking you, like, through it, like, all through it. And that just is a waste of energy.
Right.
A waste of energy and a waste of time. I don't have time to be stressed, and I don't have the energy to be stressed.
Right.
This is why stoicism is key. Like, just being stoic about stuff, like not being emotionless, but like picking and choosing your battles with your family will save you so much time.
So
like,
much.
there's instances where my mom has said stuff, or my dad has said stuff, or my grandma, even my grandma has said stuff. I'm just like, you are so annoying. But I'm not even gonna worry about it because I don't have the time to deal with you. So like, there's instances like that where I'm just like, just take a deep breath and just acknowledge, okay, this person said something really stupid, or just something I don't really agree with, or I just don't feel like dealing with. So you kind of just have to take that stress, like, you know, grabbing the ball and throw it, because like at the end of the day, like, you're not trying to deal with that. Nobody is. But people are so bad at doing that. Some people are really bad at doing that because they're so used to letting the anger of the stress build up and then just release on the one person. Because, you know, after dealing with somebody for so long, you might ignore it or blow it off. But then, say you're dealing with other stuff in your life. Then you go back to this one person that's bothering you. You're going to blow up on them with not only the stress that they bring you, but all the other things. You're going to tear them up. You might knock them out. You might kick them in the face or something. I don't know what you're going to do. But, like, I've seen that before many times. And, like, when you let that stress build up and, you know, bottle up, you just going to blow it on the next person that stresses you out like that.
Like,
it's just crazy.
Damn. It's like, ain't nothing wrong with being angry when somebody stress you out or, you know, make you upset or do something. It's the direction you go in with that anger. Like, you can, and the Bible says, be angry and sin not. Like, look, you can go from 0 to 100, or you can just stay where you at. And like you said about being stoic, like, I don't be stoic per se, but I laugh a lot of things off. Like, somebody can say the craziest thing to me, I might just laugh in their face. That's how I deal with a lot of stuff. But
laughing in their face is crazy though. What are you, the Joker? Crazy. I would never just laugh at somebody that's pissing me off, honestly.
Well,
unless I would only see, that's the thing. I'll be doing that when I know the person that's stressing me off is just not worth my time.
Yeah.
So I get
because
like, you know,
being stupid, like, that's a human right we all have. Some people abuse it, and
that's crazy.
I'm joking, but I don't know. It ain't, like we said, it ain't worth it. There's a lot of stuff ain't worth it.
Yeah, and no, I'm gonna transition a little bit because we're gonna talk a little bit. And you know, I see when we started this podcast, right? I made it my mission to not focus on relationships. You want to know why? Because every time, see, y'all sitting out there, y'all see 3 dudes with some mics and, you know, little headphones. All right, so alpha males, like we ain't gonna do all that. We ain't gonna talk about why women do this or role model. We ain't what is it? Gender roles, my fault. Like, we ain't talking about that. We are gonna focus on this stress thing for like a few minutes, and we gonna move on, however long it takes us. But I'm gonna ask y'all because, you know, it's part of the topic. Stress in relationships. I mean, you handsome gentlemen have had girlfriends before. Blah blah blah. You handsome gentlemen. See, I'm gonna take my compliment. You crusty Negroes have had relationships before. So how have y'all see? And I'm gonna just I'll start with my story first because I think it's really funny. But how have y'all dealt with like stress in your relationships? And I'll start with mine. So once upon a time when I was young and handsome and, you know, free at one point before I started working and stuff. Yeah, I had this girlfriend. And
what's her name?
It don't matter. Her name don't matter. But the point is, so she stressed me out a lot because she was always worried about everything I was doing, you know, all of this, that, and the third. And, you know, the way I dealt with the stress was by being very, like, not mean to her. Because, you know, a lot of people that know about this story be like, man, you were like, I wasn't really nothing crazy. I was just kind of like, I really just didn't like her. I'm gonna be very honest. Like, we was together, but I couldn't stand her at all. Like, she was so controlling, and it just stressed me out. Cause, like, you know, I wanted you know, when you're younger, you know, I was like 17 at the time. Like, I didn't, and that's y'all probably that's not that long ago. But you know, like, you learn. So I didn't really know how to like deal with it in a healthy manner. Like, the healthy thing to do that I should have done quicker was just break up with her. You would think, right? But no, the young idiot I was like, let me just deal with it because, you know, I mean, she's my girlfriend. Like, I might as well just deal with it, you know? Like, and that goes to show, like, back then, like, picking and choosing who is worth bringing that stress in your life, and she was not at the time. So, like, you know, time went on, and I just really just hated her. Not gonna lie. Like, she texted my phone, I'd be throwing it across the room. She'd come to my house, I'd be like, what she... You know, it was like stuff like that. And, you know, I advise anybody to not do that. Because some people just be dealing with stuff just because that's the situation they're in, but if it's bringing you stress where you can't function, like I couldn't work out like that, couldn't eat like that, I could barely sleep because I had nightmares about me strangling her, all kinds of stuff, like crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of funny now.
If she goes missing.
It's kind of funny now.
If she goes
it's
missing.
kind of funny now. But like, you know, those are real things I was dealing with. And like, some people just deal with stressful situations just because they are accustomed to them. And I was accustomed to it at that point. So I say all this because like you were saying before, like, you got to pick and choose. Like, there's a certain, everybody brings stress to your life a little bit. Not saying it should be anything detrimental. Like, Terrence stresses me out because he's late to everything. He was late to do this video. So that stressed me out a lot because I was trying to do it on a timely manner. But he's someone that's worth that kind of stress. Now, it might not bother me like that, but, you know, it's just something he brings. Tim stresses me out when he says he's going to do something, goes home, falls asleep. He don't do it. Annoying. But, like, it's those little things, you know, everybody brings your life, that little stress.
We couldn't.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm getting off topic. But how do y'all deal with stress in your relationships? That's just how I dealt with my situation, just like acknowledging it and then, you know, getting past it by being like, you suck, I'm breaking up with you, bye. You know?
Oh.
There were some other instances, but.
This is relationships, I got to remember. All right. I'm going to say this. For real, I used to think women, I don't know. I was delusional. I used to think women couldn't make me mad. Like, I don't know why, man.
Man, what a clown.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm with you on that.
Like, I didn't think women could piss me off. I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, really take me there. But, oh, been in some situations.
How young and dumb we were. It's crazy to think
Yeah,
that.
crazy.
All you young men out there, just women will make you mad. I mean, dudes will make you mad too, but there's something about a woman. It's just like you just want to. I mean, you can't do nothing. Obviously, don't.
Nah,
we don't recommend you. We don't recommend you put your hands on anybody. That's not the point what we're saying.
Yeah.
But I'll just say this: like, women out there, if a dude will take you there, we know because y'all be complaining about it. Like, but like. Don't hit them, because then some dude, not every dude is like me, Terrence and Sim. Some dudes will really knock you out for real. So, more of the story, little quick note: don't put your hands on anybody, please.
I've seen it happen.
And one thing
all right, continue.
One thing about stress, I'm gonna say real quick, before I even go into how I deal with it. But just people gotta stop getting with people who like they're trying to fix. Like, if you feel like you gotta fix somebody, or you got to build them back up like they're a project person in a relationship, it's not even worth it. It's not your job to fix somebody and feel like, oh, well, they dealing with this in their life. They need to go get made whole before they come trying to bring that into your thing. But how I deal with it, I try to talk things out in a like mature way. I'm not gonna lie, but like I do, I try to like, but I haven't met many people who are on the level to where they're willing to talk things out in a calmly manner. Because I'm not the type of person who I don't think every like disagreement got to turn into an argument and things like that. Or if you stress me out, I'm stressing you out, I'm gonna just have an attitude with you the whole day. Or somebody else. Because I'm thinking in relationships this can happen too. Somebody else can stress you out, and then you bring that stress, or life can stress you out. And you're going to bring that into your relationship. Then the other person, like, what you mad at me for? You know what I'm saying? I say distance. Working out definitely be helping me, boys. Shoot, lifting weight. Hitting heavy bag. Something like that. I ain't going to hit a woman. I'm just saying. But, like, hit, things like that. It just helps. It's a form of stress relief. Other than that, I don't really know. Shoot.
Tim?
We got OJ out here.
I don't want to do nothing too crazy.
No, I'm with you. So I'll say not everybody is maturity-wise going to be able to sit down and have that adult conversation about what expectations are. Not even expectations, that's the wrong word. Just like how you're feeling in that situation. So I will say that because of that, people will start to change themselves and change what they believe just to get out of it, almost. They'll change the way that they do things just to fit what the other person feels is best.
No, yeah, that's true.
So, which at the end of the day causes more stress. Because no matter what you do, that stress is going to come back. Because it's like, oh, well, I'm starting to do this, but you still have a problem. Right?
Yeah, because that is a tactic that, because, like you were saying, like, people don't want to have that mature conversation about how they feel because they're scared to either A, acknowledge it, or B, deal with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that and you want a way out of a situation, right, what are you going to do? You make the other person so infuriated, you are essentially breaking up with yourself because you're going to make them do it for you.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, I also dealt with a situation like this. I was trying to work it out so much, and the other person was just being so disrespectful and stuff like that. And me, a young idiot again. I've only dealt with 2 situations like this. After that, never happened again. And this is where learning comes from. But I'm gonna just say this person drove me to the point where I was like, all right, goodbye. Like, it was like, and that was even how I wanted to do it. I was trying to do what he was saying, like the nice, mature conversation, but she didn't want to say nothing. She didn't want to say how she was feeling or what she was thinking or nothing. So I had to basically be driven to the point to just, kick her out. You know what I mean? Like, kick her out of my life, essentially.
Yeah.
But people would rather do that to you than be honest about how they're feeling. And that's a very stressful situation. Anyone that's never been in that situation, very, very stressful. Mm-hmm. Because you got to figure out what they are thinking. And you want to be, and obviously you want to be with this person or you want this person in your life, but they don't care. They are just they don't want to be in it so bad. They don't want to say how they feel so bad. They'd rather drive you to the point of insanity stress-wise than be like, I don't want to do this no more. All right, well, all right. And the thing is, people are so emotionally unavailable. They are comfortable doing that now. Well, they probably always have, but we're dealing with it now too. So it's bad. It gets really bad sometimes.
Be a man and woman about your business. If you say how you feel. It's that simple.
But then again, if this person, but then as an adult, you'll learn how to just not deal with that kind of disrespect. Mm-hmm. So if you are noticing a pattern, and I'll say this now, if you're dealing with a pattern early, not 8 months in, not 6 months in, not even 3 months in, if you're dealing with a pattern of disrespect, it's only going to get worse because you aren't acknowledging it and cutting it off. There's some instances where people do stuff to me and, they may or may not do it on purpose, but I'll check it quickly because if it's going to be a pattern, we're going to have a problem and I don't want you around me. So because I don't need that stress in my life trying to figure you out. What do I look like? So if more people did that, they wouldn't have that kind of problem. You know what I mean? So just picking and choosing your battles in that, I guess, as well.
People don't be setting boundaries early enough.
Yep.
Like me, I'm not gonna play around. All right, I'm gonna use this as an example. Us, we 3 mature grown men. When we talk to each other, we don't be calling each other B's and a bunch of MFers and all that stuff. We just Miles, it's Tim, it's Terry, it's what I'm saying. It's not none of that calling each other out our name every time we have a conversation. Now you got some people who in their friendships they MF I said or B I said. That's even dudes. I've heard dudes even talk like that to each other. Now, some people might say, "Oh, it's in a friend group, so it don't mean nothing. It's term of different. We just joking." I'm the type of person, don't joke with me like that, because that's just a boundary I set early. That's a form of disrespect, and if you ever call me out my name, and really mean it, it's because the boundary wasn't set early. You thought you could get that comfortable and do something like that. So,
So. And I'm glad you said that because that leads to my next question. Have you guys ever been in a situation where the stress could have been avoided because of those boundaries? And I'll say that with relationships or family or friends, because I know there's some instances where I would where I would have to tell somebody, I know their intention was never to like, be disrespectful, but I'd be like, hey, bro, I didn't like how you said that or did that or whatever. But like, some people aren't receptive to that kind of thing because man, I was just playing. Yeah. And that goes back to that gaslighting thing. Like, okay, like, sure, you was just playing. I ain't mad at you. I'm just telling you, like, do not do it again or you're going to get hurt for real because I'm trying to be nice and tell you I didn't like it. And that's the boundary. Like, you know what I mean?
So, and I feel like for me, since like, I'm too much of a laid back person. So like, there's not really much that, I don't want to say that I don't care, like that I care about, but like, if I hear something that I don't like, I will say something. And then if like, say somebody's joking, like how you said, like calls you out your name, and I say something, they're always like, "Oh, well, I didn't know you were that type of person. You care. You don't ever care about anything else." But like, if I'm saying, "Don't do that," and I'm setting that boundary, and you're still disrespecting it, come on.
See, and I'm just because like with an example like that, right? If you continue to do it, that don't mean I'm gonna just put my hands on you because I'm not stupid. No. Like everything ain't got to result to violence, but that's a boundary right there. I set the boundary. You went past that boundary. I'm not about to be stressed out like, oh, every time I come around this person, they keep disrespecting me. No, I'm gonna just remove you from my life. We ain't got to do it no more because you obviously don't respect me enough to do as I asked. And it's a simple. That's a simple ask. Like,
right.
So
facts. And I feel like accountability kills stress because if you hold your friends accountable for stuff like that, if you hold people in your relationships accountable like that, if you hold your family accountable to stuff like that, like boundaries wise, the stress is not going to exist because you already know where you stand with that person. Yeah. So like you don't have to worry about, oh man, is he just doing that to be disrespectful, or oh man, is he just doing that because he don't blah blah blah. Like you don't have to worry about it because you're already holding them accountable to that standard you set with those boundaries. Like I would never, like I don't, like the reason, like I was saying about Terrence being late, I could care less about that overall just because like he respects me enough to be a good dude in my life, but at the same time, like that's a boundary we already set long ago. Like he might be late to some stuff, but like he respects me enough to at least show up. Some people don't even be acknowledging that. So like,
or say something,
Like I'm not like, and plus I'm not like a rational person. So like it works. But like if I just never, if he just was late to everything all the time, which he's not late to everything all the time, just some stuff. But then I'd be like, hey bro, like why are you late? Do you not respect my time? Like then that have to be a whole nother conversation. You know what I mean? So like it really just depends. But like
it's another thing about accountability. Like I'm not the type of person. I'm not the type of person to be like me being late. I know where that started from, high school. But I'm not the type of person to be like, man, what you mean? I was like, what you know what I'm saying? It ain't even called for it. Like, I acknowledge when I be, you know what I'm saying?
That's some real activity.
Yeah. But I feel like,
okay.
Just like this table right here, we were all taught like slow to anger, you know? So I just feel like that value right there has taken us a long way with dealing with our stress, right? I feel like we can take a step back and all look at a situation before we even act upon it. And that helps out, at least for me, a lot. To like take that time, if it's something, there's some things that you can't like avoid to take a step back in the moment, and like you're just infuriated at that moment. But like a lot of the times I can say I can take a step back before I blow up.
And that control is like really important. That goes back to what we were talking about, like with emotional control and stuff like that. But like having that alleviates certain stress just because like you're taking the time to acknowledge like, do I really want to put myself in a position to where I'm going to be stressed in a dangerous situation or whatever because I want to act out. And like it's just, it comes to a point where at the same time you feel like you're so stressed you just want to get rid of it, so you'll do anything. Some people do. Like some people are so stressed at work during the week, the first thing they do when they get off is start drinking because that's their number one vice to avoid that kind of or to not avoid but like get rid of that stress. Like oh, I had a long week, time to drink. Like, you know, some people really do that. So like my thing is that, like I was saying, that might be some people's vices, which, you know, drink in moderation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really a hater against drinking, but I will say a lot of people use certain things as a way to get away from their stress when they really can just look deep inside themselves and understand a lot of the stress you're dealing with could be managed if you decided to like take a look at what it is. Because a lot of people don't even know what's stressing them out for real. Like, it could be work, but what about work though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that. It just might not be a good job for you. You gotta work. Just find something you like to do or work on it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people just like, I'm not the type of person that just likes to sit and just bask in what I'm stressed about. Like, I like to acknowledge what it is first and then try and find a plan to get out of it if I can. Some stress you just can't, is out of your control. It's just the way of life.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. Well, two things you said recently, but I'm gonna stick with that one for now. Like, man, a lot of your stress will go away when you realize, like, there's only so much I can control. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna touch this, like, cause we on, you know, I'll be in that kind of one stuff. This is just an example. Like, say you leave for work, right? Things like that. Like, me personally, if I know say I know I've been late, right? And then I'm like, dang, I'm gonna really try to make it on time. Then you know you left early or something like that. It's an accident or a road shut down, and you start stressing. Man, I'm really trying to get to work because I said I was gonna be on time today. Like, it's only so much you gonna control. You know, like, same with a relationship. Somebody do you dirty? I don't know. It could be anything. Like, something happened to your car or something, and you like, man, I ain't really got the money. Only so much you control. Like, you couldn't control something happen, accident, whatever the case. Like, I don't know. I feel like that just helps a lot. Like, things gonna work themselves out. So you still gotta be smart, but
yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna wrap up on this point. Stress is one of those things that a lot of you could control, or a lot of people could control, but there's also a lot of things you can't. Mm-hmm. So like, what I advise people in terms of like this whole stress thing really is to acknowledge what it is and really just try and find something that makes you as stress-free as possible. Life is too short to be stressed about every little thing. So rely on God. You know, get your soul in order. That's where it really starts from. You know, keep those relationships intact that will bring you as little stress as possible. And run with those things, because those are the only two things that really matter is your spirit, your soul, and the people you keep. Everything else is irrelevant. Like that work and stuff, you can find any other job you want, but I'm gonna just leave it at that, and I think we good.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything else?
No, that was good.
Nope.
that's cool.
All right, cool. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. This was episode 8 of Stress, part 2. This is T.M.T.
This is Terrence.
Miles.
And Tim.
And we out.
Peace.